a couple things here, but I'm just wondering, being a walk-on in college, was this ever part of the goal? I mean, did you think that this was realistic?
I mean, starting out my college career, I would probably say no. Going to K-State was a dream come true for me. My first goal going there, though, was just to get on the field. I was fighting for a job on special teams, stuff like that. Going into my sophomore year, I was just trying to earn a spot on all of those. But then all of a sudden, kind of got in the mix there at receiver, ended up starting as a sophomore. So then all of a sudden, your goals get a little bit higher. And going through my whole career there, though, I was really focusing on being the best I could be there. Kind of got to that senior year, into my senior year point, and gave it my all preparing for pro day. And now to be here is just a true dream.
I'm wondering if that experience helps you in this experience. You get there and you're obviously not thought of as the highly touted recruit, and then you get here as an undrafted guy. I mean, is there similarities there that you can draw from?
Definitely. It's the exact same mindset. I mean, you hit it right on the head. Going in there as a walk-on and being here, you're as an undrafted free agent, you're instantly kind of thrown to the bottom of the totem pole. You got to just have that mindset that you're a street dog. You're going to show up. You're going to fight every day. You're going to do the things most other guys don't want to do or won't do. And you kind of just got to keep fighting until you get the opportunity to prove yourself.
Okay, Herbie.
Hey, Dalton, obviously you went to K-State. Byron Pringle went to K-State. How often are you all in each other's ears? And was he one of the first people to reach out to you when you decided to sign here?
Definitely. Yeah, no, me and B were good buddies at K-State. We started together 2017. He texted me instantly right away, right when he saw that I signed, said, hit me up if you have any questions about the playbook. He was in town a weekend, was like, hey, let's hit the field, stuff like that. He's been back in Tampa most of the time, so we haven't been together, working out much or anything like that. But we've definitely been in contact. He's been helping me out.
We'll go next to Haley Lewis. Go ahead, Haley.
I asked Niang this earlier, but just kind of wanted to ask the difference between your college workouts and an Andy Reid workout now that you had a little bit of the, Chiefs Kingdom taste in your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the pro level, everything kind of just moves a little bit faster. College, I think you take a little bit more time to slowly go through things or, really talk it through before maybe you run the play. Now here at this level, maybe you've talked about something one time, or maybe you were expected to just look over it yourself and know how to run the play full speed, full go. With that being said, I think Coach Reid does a great job of making corrections on the field and making sure we get it right in the moment.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Dalton, I'm just curious, two-part question. One, how did everything go this weekend? How big of a deal was it for you to be out there? It looked like you had a nice sliding catch on Friday. And then two, just what is the experience of, being in Kansas City and being close to, where you went to college and knowing that you got friends and probably family watching you?
Yeah. So to your first question, I thought the weekend went really well. Felt great just to be back out in a full live practice setting. Felt great to finally go out and run the routes that, I've been learning virtually for a few weeks now. And so that was a really good weekend, I thought. And then being from Kansas City, being close to my college, K-State, it's a dream come true, like I said earlier, and it's just so cool. So like you kind of said, have so many people pulling for me, I'll run into people randomly, or people will just text me if they see I post something on Instagram, something like that. And they're saying, hey man, like we're pulling for you. Everyone's rooting for you. So to know I have all that support from all these people who I haven't even talked to for some of them in a long time, to know they're all supporting me and rooting for me and behind me, it means a lot.
We got three more. We'll go right from the top. Harold, you're up.
Hey, Dalton, you're representing Blue Valley Northwest too. So, how much have you heard from your high school buddies? Like, oh my gosh, you're a Kansas City Chief. That's pretty cool. And then just learning with the receivers, how's that been, learning from some of the other guys that you're also competing with spots against, but also just learning what they've done and what college experiences they went through.
For sure. Yeah, it's so awesome to represent Blue Valley Northwest. Being from this area and now to be here in minicamp is just so cool. Like you said, I've had so many high school teammates, just random people I knew in high school, teachers, all reach out to me and just, again, show their support for me and say, hey, it's so cool that you're doing this, all this stuff. And then in terms of the other receivers, yeah, it's been great getting to know some of them. Like we mentioned earlier, I knew Byron Pringle from college. The gym I work out at in Overland Park, Garrett Dieter works out there too. And so we've been on the field doing a lot of routes and stuff. He's been so helpful to me, talking me through routes, doing all this stuff to get me ready for this mini camp. So that's been huge.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Dalton, I also just wanted to ask about going through COVID last year, how much you felt like that hurt somebody in your position trying to make an impression.
Yeah, I think it hurt a lot. Starting with the fact that we didn't really have these mini camps and off-season program last year. It was all virtual. So, I was sitting at home on roster with the Chargers. I'm trying to learn everything virtually. I thought I handled that pretty well, though. We got out there for camp and it all seemed to go pretty well. I mean, I felt like I had a great camp. Couldn't really be sad about anything. I got cut at the end of it because it just sucked not having preseason games and stuff like that. Never really had a good opportunity to prove myself and, rise above other guys. They just kind of left it stagnant. But at the end of the day, I left there thinking I had a great camp. I did everything I could. It just didn't work out. And then it made it tough last year during the season too, just because teams couldn't really do a whole lot of workouts or there was a lot of protocols and strict rules on that. So that also made things tough.
And we'll go last to Neil Jones. Go ahead, Neil.
Dalton, what are your favorite memories of watching the Chiefs growing up here in the Kansas City area? Were there players you emulated, or do you have a game you went to? Do you remember any of that?
Honestly, I remember growing up and the Chiefs weren't so good. And so that's kind of what makes it so cool to be here now. I grew up and, there were some trying years. And then I remember when they hired Coach Reed and turned things around, those first years with Alex Smith, that huge comeback when they had that one year. And then when they got Tyreek and Kelsey and all these guys, I remember seeing a preseason game when Kelsey, I think, was a brand new tight end and he caught like a 60-yard touchdown. And I was like, that guy's going to be somebody. And then here we are years later. And it's just really cool that now I'm here in this building.
Dalton, we really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.